we spent an extra hour and this is how this game is going to end.
Welcome to Her Sports Convo with Ashleigh Wilson.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Crazy to see you here again. I hope you had a good week last week. I hope you had a good week this week. The NFL is back, and oh boy, did it come back with a vengeance. I mean, we had all the things. We had overtime games, we had upsets, we had almost upset, we have dominating wins, storylines, all the things that you would want from the very first week of the NFL. You got it. And I'm here to give my opinions on it. So where do we even start? Let's start on Thursday night. So I appreciated how NBC brought back the little cards where they're like, my name is Ezekiel Elliott and I went to Ohio State, blah, blah, blah. I really like those because, previously they were just doing the cards where they show, offensive linemen blank, all, and that was fun, but it wasn't iconic. And, Sunday Night Football is iconic for that. So I'm happy they brought that back. But, the rest of the game was pretty, mild-tempered. It had its highs and its lows. Personally, for me, the highs and the lows was my connection going in and out, which is a whole other thing on itself. But I was shocked by, CeeDee Lamb. He still had a little bit of the COVID on his finger, so he had to get that wiped off. But after that, he started catching balls. But ultimately, the thing that I feel like the Cowboys forgot in this football game is that Tom Brady was on the other sidelines. Maybe even it was last year and it was before, Tom proved that he can go anywhere and convince an entire football team, 53-man plus roster, that with me, you can win a Super Bowl. I feel like they truly forgot about that. And that's why they ended up losing. Yeah, they mess up once, they mess up twice. But they brought back literally, if not all 53 people on the other side, at least 49 of them. So they still have that team. And I feel like they're probably hungrier than ever because, now they have to prove that we actually deserve that. It wasn't just because of the pandemic. It wasn't just because of this. It wasn't just because of that. And so that was really what showed to me in that game is that, the Cowboys, they've been disappointing America since the 90s. I mean, you got to give it to the Buccaneers because, they did a great job. Antonio Brown still went out there, sat on those kids' necks, catched balls left, right, up, down, all over the place. Even though I was expecting a little bit more from Mr. Mike Evans, but he was not, getting the love from Tom. But that's fine. Thursday was a big, heavy night for AB. So maybe next week, he's going to spread the love to Mike Evans as well. I just think that Dak Prescott did a very good job because personally, I was like, oh, y'all saying he's fine, he's this, he's that. But we got to wait until this man gets hit because the last time he got hit, we all know what happened. His ankle, leg, foot, lower extremity just went the complete opposite direction. But he stood tall in the pocket, wasn't really afraid of getting hit. I'm very proud of it. But I see great potential for the Cowboys. It wasn't like, oh my God, they're about to go out here and be 0-17, 0-16. Well, yeah, 0-16 because they get a week off. But I didn't feel like that when I was watching this game. I just felt like it was the Cowboys being the Cowboys, playing well up until a point and then just giving up, So I'm not saying the future is bleak for the Dallas Cowboy fans, but I do say maybe they got a shot. They got a future is bright. I'm not, and I'm also not saying that, the Bucs are definite stamp winning the Super Bowl this year either. So it's wide open. But I'd enjoyed Thursday Night Football. One, I enjoyed that it came back around. They had a fun little pregame. And talking about pregame, oh my gosh, Mr. Drew Brees, also known as Drew Brees, did he not look like he was 17 again with that haircut? And on Sunday, he looked the same too. I'm like, what is up with a haircut? A haircut puts you back 16 years. He looked like a child, and I was here for it. Maybe football really was that stressful on that man, and he had to shave half of his hair to, get it off. But hey, it works for us. I liked his commentating. Again, I level your commentating on a scale from, are you a Greg Olsen or are you a Tony Romo? Because we all know no one likes Tony Romo, the commentator. People didn't even really like Tony Romo, the football player. So why would they like Tony Romo, the commentator? But big ups. I'm a stan for the Drew Brees commentating career. If you would like to join the fan club, you know what you need to do. You need to subscribe, like, comment, and follow so you can join the fan club as well. And then Sunday came around and it just got even juicier, y'all. So, you know, I was limited to the games that my cable TV would provide to me, but I got the games that most people were talking about. Number one, we had the Falcons and we had the Eagles going against each other, battled the Birds. The Eagles won. Go Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. All I got to say is I don't know how Eagles fans felt when Devontae Smith caught that first touchdown, but I was hyped. I was like, let's go. Like, I was like, wait, girl, you're not an Eagles fan. You need to calm down. But it was so fun to see, you know, not only Devontae Smith, you know, get a touchdown, his first touchdown, all that good stuff, because we stand Devontae Smith over here at HSC. But also, like, he got the touchdown catch in the same end zone, in the same place that he caught the, you know, national winning touchdown catch for Alabama at. Like, that is, name a better full circle moment than that. Like, there's no better full circle moment than what happened for Devontae Smith. And then Jalen Hurts caught it. Like, Jalen Hurts was throwing it. Like, it's you can't write this stuff up. You can't write it up. Disney could try, but they just couldn't get it right. And Jalen Hurts, he went out there and he showed, like, I'm the number one guy. He shut the haters down at least for 1 week, you know, and then next week they're probably going to come back with full vengeance. And I'm excited for, you know, a lot of people in 2 or 3 years if the Eagles win a Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts is standing up there with the trophy, they're going to be like, we knew Jalen Hurts was our guy. He was always our number one. And I'm going to be like, no. Because you remember in 2021 when y'all kept releasing, well, Jalen Hurts isn't, you know, necessarily our QB1 yet. Like there was a debate about this. And it seems like everyone on the team is like a fan of Jalen Hurts. Like, they want him to do well. They appreciate him as a leader, all this good stuff. So I was a stan. And on the Falcons side, shout out to Cordell Patterson, our former guest. I'll make sure I'll put, you know, his episode down in the bio, description, comment section, wherever. And he did so well. I was like, okay, Cordell, look at you, killing it. And that's about the best thing that came out of the game for the Falcons, if we're going to keep it a buck, because it was not good. I mean, from their lack of point scoring to their lack of defensive stop to their lack of offensive linemen not, you know, letting them run through Matt Ryan like a truck. It was a mess. And the Falcons got a lot to work on like usual, but they drafted Kyle Pitts. Did they need Kyle Pitts? No. I mean, we're going to go back to March when they decided to draft Kyle Pitts. That was not, you didn't need a tight end. You needed everything else but that. So I'm not saying they're going to not win a game, but I'm saying if they only win 2, I will not be shocked. Not at all. Because they have problems that they have no solution to said problems. You fixed your problems by getting rid of your best wide receiver, Mr. Julio Jones, who's hanging out over there in Nashville now. What? And then, you know, after that game was over, I decided to, you know, tap into the Mr. Joe Burrow comeback. We had the Minnesota Vikings, Joe Burrow / all of his LSU teammates competing with him. And it was so good, one, to see Joe Burrow back on the field after he tore his ACL last season in his rookie season. That was hard to see. But they came back and they won it. You know, overtime was the first of 2 overtime games this weekend. And it was exciting. I know Justin Jeffries was a little sad to see his friends Joe and Jamar having a great time on the other sideline without him as he took that L. But they both played a good game. And I mean, I have high expectations for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in the second season. And shout out to Jamar for shutting down all the people who were like, he has no cans, he's dropping everything, like, blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't have took the year off from playing football to, like, protect himself, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for shutting all of them down, because now all they are doing is deleting their tweets from Twitter, and I'm here for it. Like, do your thing. One of the top 3 games that happened this weekend was Mr. Aaron Rodgers going out to Jacksonville, Florida, to play the New Orleans Saints, led by Mr. Jamies Winston himself. and completely sabotaging the Packers season. Like, yes, sabotage their season, Aaron. You were like, okay, you don't want me to leave? Well, guess what? I'm going to make it awful for all of us to be here. Let's go. I'm here for it. I mean, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers was sabotaging them, but I am saying that Aaron Rodgers was real sick of them by the second quarter, if you could see the look on his face. He was like, I'm over this. I'm tapped out. And yeah, they did, quote unquote, take Aaron Rodgers out. But I think Aaron Rodgers on the sideline was like, go ahead, Jordan. Y'all love him so much. Let him get in the game to deal with this foolishness, because that's really what it was. The catchers couldn't catch the ball. The defense wasn't really doing much on defense to stop the Saints offense. But at the other hand, you really got to give it to, Jameis and the Saints. I mean, he had that very weird post-game conference. He was asked, how did you prepare for the Saints defense? And he said his coach or his trainer or whatever always says, always be prepared. And then he was trying to start to say something else, but he completely forgot what he was saying. And it was a real Jamies Winston moment that happened right there. And I'm here for it. I'm here for Jameis getting his moment in the spotlight again, back from, having a year of learning from Drew Brees and dealing with the past drama and the lackluster performance, I guess you can say, in Tampa Bay, and putting that behind him. And now, starting his career in New Orleans with Sean Payton, and looks like a great group of guys, because I was believing in it when I saw them playing, Aaron, the Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron. You got the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and he's definitely up there with them. And I don't know I wouldn't be shocked if the Saints made the playoffs and had home field advantage. Not they were number 1 by any means, because let's slow our roll here, kids. It's only week 1. But if they wanted to had a home game, if they had a home game in the playoffs, I wouldn't be shocked by that by any means. And I mean, since we're here, we have to talk about Sunday Night Football, because what was that? First, before we even start talking about Sunday Night Football, am I the only one who kind of forgot that Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford switched teams? Matthew Stafford came on the TV and I was like, wait, what? Oh, yeah. That did happen 19 months ago. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot that happened. But boy, did he not forget that happened. He had a good old time. He was out there. I mean, on the second play of the game, you're just going to throw it 9,500 yards. This man was out here for a good time, not a long time. Unlike Andy Dalton was not out there for a good time. It was just not. It wasn't the move. It wasn't the vibes. It was a mess. And the first mess started with whatever that mustache beard situation he had going on. He needs to shave it, and shave it fast. He looks weird. He looks creepy. And he needs to let it go. It was a fun little off-season moment, but you need to let it go, Andy. You need to let it go. Because I'm not saying it's hurting your game, but you won't doing too much greatness on Sunday night. So let's move forward and let that one go. But when we look onto the actual gameplay, Sean McVay deciding to run the Rams offense, best decision ever. Because they were just running, throwing, passing, just getting people open. And that's the kind of stuff you see John Gruden doing. Again, not comparing Sean McVay and John Gruden, because that wouldn't be fair to either one of them. But John Gruden is known for always getting people open and putting them against the places so they can score. And that's really what Sean McVay was really putting on the showcase this Sunday. And I'm so happy to see, the Rams succeeding, aside from the fact that Todd Gurley doesn't have a home, but that's a whole nother discussion for another day. It was a fun game in the fact that I got to see Andy Dalton perform poorly, and I got to see Justin Fields get in the game and score his first NFL touchdown. Other than that, that was arguably the very worst game ever, and I don't know why that was put on Sunday Night Football. And also, I know Jared Goff was so sad. I know he was like, I'm in Detroit with nothing to do, nowhere to go, and he's in LA. And not only is he in LA, but he's in LA having a good old time. Having a good old time. They're running these fun plays now that I'm not there. They're just switching it all up. But I'm in Detroit with the crazy WWE coach. And we all feel bad for you, Jared. Not that bad, but bad. Because that's just a really tough situation to be in. But you're a strong guy. You'll figure it out. I mean, Matthew Stafford did. And he did pretty well, if you ask me. The last game of week 1 did it not leave us with a banger, with a exclamation point. I'm saying that very sarcastically. One, because why did this game go into overtime? Sincerely, someone who lives on the East Coast. And I like how the commentators kept saying multiple times, bedtimes doesn't exist in Vegas. Well, yeah, because it's 8 o'clock there. It's 11:55 here, broski. Let's wrap it up. Why are we going into overtime? And then, before we even get before overtime, let's talk about how Lamar Jackson did his very best. He came back out there and did his best. Got the team down the field to kick the field goal. We're winning. I mean, it's Derek Carr of all people. The defense was acting like they had Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers on the other side. I'd even give them Phillip Rivers. It's Derek Carr. The most, I don't like to say people are overhyped, but he's up there on the, y'all give this man a lot of attention and he's pretty, basic, if we're going to be honest. And y'all let this man look like he was going to win the Super Bowl this year. Defense. I was upset. I was more upset for my homie Lamar Jackson. Does he know I exist? No, but it's fine. And 2, I was upset because I wanted to go to sleep. But I was bound by the fact that I needed to know how this ended. And the fact that y'all let them go all the way down there, not only at the end of regulation to make the field goal, then you let them go all the way down there in the first half chance of overtime. Looks like they won. I was like, okay, whatever. I can go to sleep now. Nope. He was on the half-yard line. And then I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Let Lamar have a shot. So, in fact, that is what they do. They let Lamar have a shot after they get the ball back. Lamar turns it over, trying to get more yards. Pretty sure this is how it went. Lamar, yeah, because they didn't punt it. Yeah, he straight up turned it over. And then they get the ball back, and he makes a wide open throw to the end zone, and it's over. And I'm like, we spent an extra hour, and this is how this game is going to end? Like, I just needed a little bit more excitement. No matter if Lamar Jackson or the Raiders won, I just felt like that was a pretty mediocre ending for the very first 1 to 4 quarters of this football game. You know what I mean? I expected a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more sparkles, a little bit more hot fire flames, if we're being honest, especially for the fact that it was 11:55 at night Eastern Standard Time when this football game decided that, hey, let's keep going. Like, the least you could do is give me some pizzazz to watch. And I mean, if you're a Raiders fan, you probably thought that was enough pizzazz to last you a lifetime. And maybe it was. But unfortunately for me, it was not. Like, if we're going to do this overtime, let's get funky with the extra 10 minutes of football, let's make it a little bit more exciting. I just felt like it was kind of subpar. Like, yeah, it was kind of crazy how they got down there right close, but they didn't score. I wanted a little bit more. Like, if you're going to keep me up, give me something to look at. You know what I mean? Even though the Raiders won this football game by the skin of their teeth, literally the skin of their teeth, I have no faith that they're going to be getting anywhere close to a playoff this year. Because, like, when you look back, when you pull back the layers that they won this football game, they didn't play that well. Like, they didn't do that good in this football game. So I think that the Ravens have a bright future because they're going to look at this tape and be like, we made a lot of mistakes and we can fix them. And the Raiders are going to look at this tape and be like, we did a really good job. So we'll see how this works. a lot of people are out there making, these wild old decisions from this first 2 days of football, and I'm just happy it's back. I feel like the same teams who were pretty mid-level, mediocre, riding the middle of the line, after what we saw this week, I feel like those teams are still going to be those teams, i.e. the Jaguars, who got literally slapped about the field on Sunday. And when Urban Meyer takes the open job at USC at the end of this season, don't be shocked, because it's going to happen. I mean, it's the same thing that happened at Ohio State, Florida, all the places he ever been. Once the flames get hot, he, decides, time for me to go. And he has a good excuse to go. So when you find him in SoCal by December, January, don't be shocked, because I told you he'll be there. Here comes Santa Claus. No, here comes Urban Meyer. I'm going to be honest, didn't watch a lot of college football this week because I watched a lot last week, and I knew I was going to intake a lot of NFL this week. But I watched one very, very, very good football game. And if you can guess what it is, guess right now. You guessed? You're probably right. Jacksonville State versus Florida State. And oh boy, did I not know what I was signing up for. And neither did Florida State. So Jacksonville State, to give anyone a little background, they're an FCS team, and they hung around there. They were hanging around about with the Seminoles, and then the clock started winding down. I was like, okay, they're not going to do it, but it was fun. This is very fun to see. It's late night. It's Saturday. We're having a good time. Little did we all know, Jacksonville State had a little fairy dust in their pockets, and boy, did they whip it out. When the game was on the line, Jacksonville State got a little bit further down the line. They weren't in field goal position, and also it wouldn't have helped them anyway. So they had to score a touchdown, right? And the guy threw the ball, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a great throw. The other guy caught it. I don't remember any of these people's names. And he caught it inbounds. And if he would have fell down, they could have kicked the field goal and won the game. But homie was like, we're not doing that. We're winning the game right here, right now. Touchdown. We're not tying it up. This game is over. And he the little Florida State guy, and he the other guy, and homie went for 6 and scored a touchdown. And let me tell you, best thing I saw this week. Let's go Jacksonville State. Poor Florida State. It happened to them again. We literally talked about this last week, and it happened to them again. But this time it's even worse, because no one expected you to beat Notre Dame. Everyone expected you to beat Jacksonville State. And now Jacksonville State is on TikTok making very funny videos about you, and you can't do anything about it, which is sad. So as I said last week, Florida State, time to start looking into getting rid of our football program, because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that not only do you lose bad by the teams you're supposed to be competitive against, but now you're losing to the people you pay to come play you. Not a good look. It's not a good look. Florida State, it's not a good look. Aside from the, not a good look that you have like things that are appropriating from other people's culture, but I won't get on that soapbox today. Maybe tomorrow. Well, that is all I got this week, y'all. Make sure to like, comment, rate, subscribe wherever you decide to listen to your podcast today. Head on over to Instagram and follow at Her Sports Convo to stay up to date on all things Her Sports Convo. Check out the main channel, Her Sports Convo, on YouTube, where I post new videos every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the podcast episodes if you're not watching on the Her Sports Convo podcast YouTube channel, where I post, ding, 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 the podcast episodes on YouTube. You can watch me talk to myself, or you can watch me talk with a guest, because guess what? Next week, we're having a guest. Hey, I know, we're all shocked. Me too. But yeah, that's it. Check out everything. Have a good weekend. Let me know down in the comments what you're doing this weekend, who you're watching. If you think, Jamies Winston is going to be the new Drew Brees of New Orleans and bring the city back together when it needs it the most after Hurricane Ida, I mean, who knows? We all know it's probably not going to happen, but we've seen crazier. So as always, be safe, Have fun and don't be afraid to join the convo.